I am so tired of you acting like you speak for the people of the state of Indiana or the city of Indianapolis. You do not speak for me or anyone I know. Now listen, you two jerks. Jerks on the right.
Good morning, everybody. Hello. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Coming up on the show today, JFK files. They were released. We have no idea what they mean. But we're telling you.
We'll be breaking that down.
We're going to be breaking all that down. You guys, you're in the right place for that. That's for sure. Astronauts, they returned to Earth and it was amazeballs. And Tim Walz, put him up. He's going to kick your ass, you guys. Tim Walz is. He's a tough guy.
Get ready.
All that and so much more coming up on the show this morning. You can find all the things chicks at www.chicksontheright.com/links. Do
Indeed.
it. You should do that. Also, please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts on all the places. Click subscribe and then tell your friends. Fedimus Maximus says that Tim Walz has short legs. Yeah, he does.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
Yeah.
There is kind of a lot going on today. And so, there were options. We had options today of like highlighting some excerpts of a JD Vance talk that was really, really good. We had some options of showing some Scott Bessent stuff, which was really, really good. All of that had to be put aside because everything else sort of exploded yesterday. And now, of course, we have to talk about all of the explosions. Yeah. Not literal explosions, but you know what I mean.
Everything.
Everything is so explosive. And of course, the main news that came out yesterday is that the JFK files had been released. They were all released on like an archives.gov page in individual PDF format. And so, I saw that 80,000 pages had been released and I just tweeted out to everybody. I was like, hey, if somebody could read these and then just summarize them for me, would really appreciate it.
Where's the Cliff Notes? We need the Cliff Notes of 80,000 pages. That would be great.
So a couple of people, it was super interesting because a couple of people were like, hey, here's my conversation with Grok, which, we asked AI, we asked Grok to sift through all of it, do an analysis and spit out, the main points or the main new things that we have learned from this release of the JFK files. And I was getting kind of into that, right? Like the general overview from Grok was that the lone shooter theory stands. There are a few nuances to explore, maybe a few new little tidbits that relate back to the CIA and the mob and all these other theories, but nothing truly like, oh my gosh, this is the new bit of information we've all been waiting for to prove XYZ. There was nothing super explosive. And then I started to see that Grok's answers change depending on how you ask the questions. And so then I was like, well, crap. You know what I mean? Like you can't trust anything because everyone who posts their angle or their conversation with Grok has a different angle. So it's impossible to really know unless you personally read through 80,000 pages and analyze it for yourself. It's impossible to really know anything.
Well, it's a lot of information to absorb. Like if you want to know about like, does the CIA engage in political and psychological warfare against, the people of the United States, how did they start doing that around that time? There's, you can find quotes about that. I like it. I think if you ask it certain questions, yes, it's going to tell you. But that's a lot of freaking information to absorb in like 2 hours. You can't do that. It's like Congress reading a bill. You can't possibly read it in the amount of time that you're supposed to read it. So I think it's, there's certain nuances and there's certain things you could ask about, like if you're interested in certain, like I'm interested in the CIA. I'm interested in like what they were doing around that time. Did they have a hand
And you can
in
ask it specifically that, and there are some, some very sketchy things. The other problem is that you can't even get a straight answer on how much of the new files have been redacted. Sometimes Grok will say, no, this new release is like 99.9% unredacted. The only things that are redacted are like grand jury testimony, stuff that has to be redacted.
Right.
But really, for the most part, it's all, as Trump promised, not redacted. But then there's other stories that are like, this is bullshit. This is all redacted. And so even that you can't get a straight answer about, which is why I'm going to wait until clearer minds and actual humans have gone through this and are reporting back more specifics.
And they will.
All I think is that the bullet went back and to the left. That's the only thing that I know.
So Oliver Stone was right. He was right about that. Back and to the
left. That's all I know.
You guys, I swear. So yeah, there's going to be humans that are going to sift through this. I got to wait for to see what Alex Jones says about all of it.
Right,
and all of the other talking heads. But we have to sift through. There's actual documentation that needs to be read and then just ripped apart and absorbed.
Now, I'll be honest with you, I will not be one of the people that is doing that. I mean, I just am not.
I'll probably go down the rabbit hole a lot, like today and the rest of this week, and then see what other people say. But there's a lot to absorb. You just can't. There's no way that we could have woken up this morning and been like, this is what it is.
Right. I feel like whatever you currently think happened, you're going to continue to think happened. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. I hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Tammy is saying, ladies, Harry Sisson. And we could have also shown a bunch of videos about Harry Sisson today. And here's why we're not gonna. Okay. Harry Sisson has been accused by, 11 plus women of leading them on and being super manipulative and starting all these DMs with them and coaxing them to send him nudes, all this stuff. And so people are like, oh my God, he's like a predator. All it proves, you guys, is that first of all, women are attracted to him, which I cannot fathom. But he's a dude he's a player. I don't think this is a big deal. I know we hate Harry Sisson and he's disgusting, but this is to me the biggest non-news ever, except that women are attracted to him. That's the news.
Yeah. The news is that he's not gay.
Right.
That's the news.
That's the news.
Are we sure about that? Maybe he's bisexual. I'm completely dumbfounded by what red-blooded woman would be like, I'm going to send nudes to Harry Sisson.
And just to me, because some of these girls are very attractive. To me, it just proves that they care about the notoriety, they care about the name, they care about the fact that he's got 1 million+ followers. Girls can be just as gross as guys. That's the only thing that this entire debacle proves to me.
They're liberals. They're liberal women. And they're like, I'm going to take my panties off for Harry Sisson.
Oh my God.
Have fun with that. You do you, boo. We'll be over here not doing that. Because gross. I'm serious.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's not enough vomit. I can't. That's wow. Okay.
You guys, we're going to talk about dogs, but we're going to do it a little bit differently because in the perspective of talking about dogs and coat defense, we're actually going to talk about cows.
Daisy here with my Brahmins on the ranch, and I want to talk to you guys about coat defense preventative powder. This stuff is bomb, and not only for the dogs, because we love it for the dogs, but we also love it for our cows, because every once in a while in their little folds, I say little folds, I mean for a 1,200-pound animal, but in their folds on their hides, sometimes they get yeast and biome abnormalities. And so we will sprinkle a little bit on their hides. It's really good for that. And, I like to put it in my boots, in my shoes, just to keep them from getting yeast. You can't. Not really trying to love but it's great for cows, great for horses, great for dogs, great for humans. You can get 15% off. It's just a wonderful product. CodeDefense.com. Use code CHICKS and get 15% off. I love your hat. Oh, thank you. That's Linus. Linus is a baby, you guys. You didn't see Opie. Opie was like, he's so camera shy. He's like, I can't be on the camera. My hair doesn't look good. He's such a baby. Mm-hmm. I keep my hat on.
That
the hat's super tight. Somebody said, how do you keep your hat on? That's why I wear it out there, because it's so windy in Texas and it's very, very tight on my head. It's a fantastic hat to wear for the sun.
So you guys would have seen that earlier than now if you are following us at Chicks on Right on Instagram. So make sure to follow us there.
15% off, you guys. 15% off at codedefense.com.
So in addition to the JFK files, which we have absolutely given you so much information about, right? We basically said, we don't know. We just got to wait. So there was tons of other news. There was a Trump phone call with Vladimir Putin, and there was, Caroline Leavitt released like a readout about it. And basically seemed to say that it went very positively. Trump was on the Laura Ingraham show, and she asked the question, give us the scoop, give us the skinny. How did the call go? What's going to happen? And here is what Trump
We got a readout of your call with Vladimir Putin, and it was a fairly optimistic take. Vladimir Putin agreed to a ceasefire immediately on energy and infrastructure, but not to a 30-day ceasefire. Tell us what happened.
Well, you have a situation where you have a lot of guns pointing at each other foolishly, because it would have never happened if I were president. That was not a war that was supposed to happen. And it did happen. So that's where we are. And right now, you have a lot of guns pointing at each other. And a ceasefire without going a little bit further would have been tough. Russia has the advantage, as you know. They have encircled about 2,500 soldiers. They are nicely encircled, and that's not good. And we want to get it over with. Look, we're doing this. There are no Americans involved. There could be if you end up in World War III over this, which is so ridiculous. But, strange things happen. And I think we had a great call. It lasted almost 2 hours. Talked about a lot of things and toward getting it to peace. And we talked about other things also.
I mean, he's right about the whole, it's stupid to have all these guns pointing at each other. And I believe him when he says that it wouldn't have happened under his watch. I don't think it would have happened either, because it is stupid. It's like a big sword fight. It's so stupid.
Well, and at some point, I mean, in wars, as wrong as it may have been, and obviously it was, for Russia to invade Ukraine, everybody knows that was wrong. But as wrong as that was, countries win wars, for better or for worse. Russia is probably in a position where they're more likely to win this war. There's going to be territory that has to be given up. We can all not like it. We can all see the injustice in it, but also at the same time want this to come to a freaking end.
Right.
Because putting more resources and military and money and weaponry into Ukraine
and
is
people,
just going to going to drag us into it. It's enough is enough already. Like it's just got to stop.
Totally.
And then leave it to this clown on MSNBC to be worried, not about the outcome of the war, but worried that Trump may be potentially able to take credit for ending it. That's MSNBC's big concern.
God, these people.
And Nicole Wallace and her stupid pinched face.
I believe she's still there.
Oh my God, this is infuriating.
Tomorrow, if somehow Putin agrees to a ceasefire, and we don't know if he will, but I would not be surprised if he does, President Trump is going to say, I ended the war. And that's going to be the headline, and all of his people that support him are going to say, look, he ended the war that Biden couldn't. That's not the right way to think about this ceasefire. This ceasefire is being brought about because President Trump and his team have coerced the Ukrainians to do so by cutting military assistance, cutting intelligence assistance, and they've given Vladimir Putin, so far, everything he's wanted.
I just cannot.
What a piece of crap this guy is.
God,
it's just like, sit down, Michael.
Right?
We can't have him win. We should just keep fighting the war. We should just
we don't want Trump to look good. We don't want him to get credit for anything.
We don't want mean orange man to have a win. So let's just keep letting people die. God, these people
that's essentially their attitude.
Yeah,
it's
that's
incredible.
That's what Michael is saying. What an insufferable beast he is.
Just absolutely awful. You guys, what else is awful is yo-yo dieting, and you should not do it. If you have tried a bunch of fad diets before and you've lost weight only to gain it back, try something different. Try something from Brickhouse Nutrition, which of course is the makers of Field of Greens, which has been a longtime sponsor of the show. We love them. And now they have this product called Lean. You can lose weight the smarter way with these supplements. You take 3 each morning, and this helps in so many different ways. There's science behind this. It maintains healthy blood sugar. It controls your appetite and cravings. It burns fat by converting it into energy. And it's an alternative to the like much more risky, how do you pronounce
Shots.
it? Like the thing that's in them. The semaglutide or
semaglutide, yeah, the shots and the injections and all that other stuff that you don't want to do. Don't do that.
I just worry so much that like in some years we're going to hear about all of the long-term side effects from that.
Yeah,
It's just not worth the risk when you can take something much more natural. And so visit takelean.com. It's takelean.com. When you use code CHICKS20, CHICKS20, you will get 20% off of your first order. Just try that. And before you do anything more drastic. Okay.
Yeah.
Takelean.com. The code is CHICKS20. The best thing about yesterday was the astronauts returning home from the space station. I was so excited to watch this on television. I did get the weeps. This is the stuff that just makes me feel like so yay America.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Oh, it's so good. So we've got a couple clips to share. One where they touch down and you just hear what has to be like the most amazing words to hear when you are splash landing as an astronaut. And those words are welcome
And we're
home.
going to stand by for splashdown located in the Gulf of America off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
And splashdown. Crew 9 back on Earth.
Oh my God.
Copy splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sunny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
Dragon space.
And then the dolphins, you guys, there were dolphins. Freaking kidding me? It was like you cannot screenplay a better.
Right.
You can't like, and so there, I have 3 different clips of the dolphins, but from 3 different people, because it was just what I mean,
remarkable.
Like, what a cherry on the top, right?
Yeah,
This is just amazing.
Now here on your screen, we can see dolphins actually,
Oh my God.
who want to come and play with Dragon. Closing the distance.
Oh my
there
gosh.
between dolphin cam back again. We can see that the Dragon capsule and the recovery vessel, that distance is closing.
They were actually flown to a medical facility in Florida, so obviously it took them a little bit longer. Oh, look at those beautiful close-up views of the dolphins from NASA.
Can you even?
I
swear. Liberals are like, Elon paid those dolphins to be there. He paid them.
Those are CGI generated.
Yeah.
Those are not real dolphins.
They're AI dolphins, you guys. They're not real dolphins. You know that liberals are saying that. I can't with these people.
My gosh.
I know, right?
And then thinking about the road to recovery that these astronauts have to go through after spending almost 9 months up in space, just seeing them, be stretchered out of the capsule and wave and smile. That was also just like a huge, huge treat. We've got a couple of different angles of them coming out. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine. I don't even like.
We can see folks on board clapping as our first crew member.
And that is NASA astronaut Nick Hague, commander of Crew 9.
Oh my God.
Now out of Crew Dragon Freedom.
Thumbs up.
Smiles, thumbs up, and a wave. Can't get any better than that.
Yeah, that is one happy camper, that's for sure. It looks like we're getting our next crew member here. That is none other than Sunny Williams. Big smile, big waves. She, like her other crew members, now will be assisted onto the mobility aid.
There we have it. Some waves, some thumbs up, and some smiles.
Unreal. Just unreal.
Can you imagine like having to what your body must feel like
Oh
when
my
it
gosh.
returns from that no gravity.
No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being on that thing with like that dude for that long. I'm surprised they weren't like killing each other. I can't imagine. Good
I know they
Lord.
always seem so smiley and happy to be there, and such good, attitudes about it. Now we're all feeling like super happy in America, but now you're about to get so pissed off because I know this clip pissed me off so bad. And again, it's MSNBC. Some asshat is trying to suggest that this went according to plan, and it's pointless to give Trump or Elon any credit for getting them home, because really they could have come home at any time. And actually, if you're an astronaut, it's your biggest dream to be in space. So really, these people wanted this, you guys. They were asking for it, essentially. I could not believe this segment actually happened, but it's real. Take a listen.
Talk to that a little bit. There was the idea that the astronauts were stranded up there.
Oh my God.
If you're an astronaut, right, this is what you live for. You pray to be able to be chosen for a mission and going up into space. And there was the problem with the space liner, with the Boeing, but they could have at any time, NASA could have done something to try and retrieve them, and they didn't need to, right? Because there's a cycle of, there were already two astronauts up there that had come up on this capsule. That capsule was still attached to the mission, and NASA decided it would be better just for the normal logistics to leave them up there for longer. And as the astronauts themselves said, it's like they loved being up there. So, it's like if you're a space nerd, as they are and I am, it's like being sent to Hawaii for a 1-week vacation and finding out, no, actually you're going to be able to spend, 8 months here or 10 months there.
Yeah.
So this idea of them being stranded, I really felt was kind of the politics getting involved. And, NASA has contingency plans. NASA has, NASA understands what it takes and what the problems are. And so the decision to, leave them up there was not one of desperation, but was one of scheduling and logistics, which is very hard when it comes to space. So this, in many ways, this was very routine. Getting them down was not something special. This capsule was always up there waiting to bring the 2 astronauts who'd been there already and were scheduled to come down. But this one had 4 seats. That was part of the plan, so they could get them all down.
I mean, it was just like like Hawaii, Mock. I mean, like when you went to Hawaii, it was like it's just like you're being pulled out on a stretcher and you can't walk. You know what I mean? It's just like that, right? It's like a spa day, you guys. What a piece of crap this guy is. They cannot let Trump or Elon or anybody who's on the right have a win. I bet you this guy, I think he's Mark Kelly's twin brother, right? Isn't that who that is?
No, I think, no.
This
was a whole other guy.
There's a whole other guy. He's a whole other jerk that hates Elon. Yeah, but like, I bet this guy had a Tesla like 4 years ago. He's one of those. He's like, oh, Elon's saving the world. I love it when he's saving the world. But then when he does this during a time where he wants to save America with Trump, I hate him. I can't give him a win. I'm crazy. I have Elon derangement syndrome. These people are nuts.
I could not believe that was real. Like that almost seemed so ridiculous that it was satirical, but no, it was real. And then my husband was telling me on the way to dinner last night that he also was seeing reports yesterday of people blaming Trump for the fact that the astronauts were stranded. And I was like, how were they? But like, how were they doing that? He was like, because they don't know. They don't know what they're saying. They just want to blame him for everything. And I was like, but he wasn't even like, that doesn't make any sense. Right. And he was like, it doesn't have to make sense.
It doesn't.
They're crazy.
I mean, they will blame him for their hangnail,
My God.
Oh, I just stubbed my toe. It's Trump's fault. Trump did that. He put that thing in front of me where I stubbed my toe. It's Trump. These people. Insane.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. And now the whole country is there's basically essentially a judicial coup happening in our country right now. The activist judges are on a warpath, and it is kind of terrifying. Lots of decisions that were made yesterday are just, I can't. So there was a federal judge yesterday who blocked Trump's executive order banning trans people from military service. That was a thing that happened. There was also another judge who said, hey, all those cuts that you've made at USAID, you're going to have to fully reinstate USAID and all the grants and everything. You have to, we're undoing this presidential order. And I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Marsha Blackburn was on one of the talk shows to talk specifically about the USAID thing. We have all had it. Like, this has got to stop. Here is Marsha on that.
This is more of your Trump derangement syndrome. This is more of these activist judges. So here you have a judge who is standing up for wasting taxpayer money. It is not the judge's money. It is not the court's money. This is money that hardworking taxpayers have earned and sent to Washington, D.C. And if they're going to decide they don't want to pay for Sesame Street in Iraq, or DEI education in another country, or trans surgeries in another country. Martha, the American people have spoken. They gave Donald Trump a mandate on November 5th. He is carrying that out. He made promises. He is keeping those promises.
I will never understand why they want to die on this hill. I just don't. Just keep doing it, though. I mean, because the American people and anybody who's independent at this point, this is their money too. I mean, okay, you just keep fighting to be an elitist prick who wants to steal our money. An entitled elitist prick who wants to steal our money. Because this is what they are. They're entitlement is a cancer, man. And it has completely spread and taken over in Washington. They feel entitled.
They're fighting to bankrupt the country.
Right.
Like why does that make any sense? That's the hill they're dying on.
Based on their own greed, based on their own entitlement. They feel like they are entitled to your and my money. They're entitled to our money.
And what they're not realizing, and Elon said this on Fox last night, he was like, we're all on the same United States ship. And if the ship sinks, we all go down. Even the rich, greedy, entitled people, they go down too. So it's going to end for everybody. I'm just out here trying to make sure that the country doesn't go bankrupt. Mm-hmm. And people are freaking burning up Tesla because of it. I mean,
the rich people go down last. It's like the Titanic. They're in the nice boats. You know what I mean?
But they go down.
But they go down. You're right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is the thing. You have to wonder if the judges keep ruling the way that they are, if there are these impediments to the progress that Elon Musk is going to make. I don't know what's going to happen. There's reason to be concerned. And that is why Daisy and I have started getting our silver from First Fidelity Reserve. You can get these really cool coins, these Silver Eagle coins. These are 0.999 fine, 1 ounce Silver Eagle coins, and you can get them for just $35 plus free shipping. These are the best thing to get kids and grandkids.
Yes.
Not to mention stocking up your own safe, because silver right now it is jumping like crazy. It always jumps when there's market like tumult. And so it's a great idea to just have actual physical silver and gold and other precious metals at the ready as part of your financial portfolio. So if you want to get your hands on the American Silver Eagle coin for just $35 plus free shipping, call 1-800-336-1630. 800-336-1630. You can also visit firstfidelityreserve.com. Make sure to tell them that the chicks sent you. We would super appreciate that. Again, that number 800-336-1630. Really, really happy to be working with First Fidelity Reserve, because they are one of the gold companies that actually are super interested in making sure you don't get scammed by some of the other gold companies out there who are kind of sketch. So they take great care. They're AAA rated with the BBB. Really, really good. 800-336-1630. Okay. We need to talk about Tim Walz. So Gavin Newsom, as you know, with this new podcast, he's been hosting a lot of conservative folks on the podcast. And I guess now he feels like I probably need to talk to people on my own side. And inexplicably, he decided Tim Walz was the right person to have on the show. Yeah. And Tim Walz is feeling very, very feisty, apparently.
Very much.
And he has decided that he can beat up everybody. And if you don't believe me, just take it from him.
We got to go on the offense. We got to meet people where they are. But I also think this, and this is where, this is part of the conversation I'm trying to have, is you got to respect people you disagree with, even and you can't just dismiss people. This
How do you
notion
fight it?
And well, this
I
notion
think
of
I could kick most of their ass. I do think if they want to do it. I know I can outrun them, but I don't know if we're going to fall into that place where we want to. Okay, we challenge you to a WWE fight here type of thing.
No,
counter
but
it
it's a natural reaction. I think it's one of the reasons we're losing so many men. And again, it's multi-ethnic. It's not just white men. We're losing them. We're losing them to these guys online. We're losing them people that I'm bringing on this podcast as well. That's why I brought.
These are bad guys, though. These are bad guys.
But they exist, and we could deny they exist. They exist. Not only they exist, they persist, and they're actually influencing young kids every single day.
How do we push some of those guys back under a rock?
I think we have to first understand what their motivations are. I think we have to understand what they're actually doing.
I swear this guy, I'm 54 with osteoporosis and I am your Huckleberry. Like I volunteer as tribute.
Bring it.
I do. I wouldn't even take my hoops off, man. Like I'd be running on coffee and bitterness. And I could take this guy. I could take him, you guys. Seriously.
So I will pay to watch that.
Right. I could do it. I could tell my daughter who's 15 and 5'1" could take this guy. Okay. Like I could do it. You guys, there's so many people on Twitter who are like, let's do it. Let's totally do it. Like, I challenge you to a duel, like based on whatever, I don't even know, whatever statute in Texas, I challenge you to a duel. I do this. Like we could just give all the money to charity. We could do it. I feel like I can get a ring with this guy. Let's do it.
I would love it. I mean, this guy is such a scumbag, and he's starting to get out there more and more. Like he's trying to be a thing, and there are like apparently he's hosting town halls and whatever, and people are going and making him a thing, even though he was one of the things that brought Kamala down, other than her own lack of competence. He did not bring anything to her campaign. He brought nothing except weird hand movements and like, you know, this kind of waving and like
and dancing. And he was
dancing.
The guy is he was in show choir. No, nothing against show choir, Mock. Nothing against it. I know. I love you know how much I love you. But like he was a theater kid. I could take him, you guys. I could take him.
Yeah, I mean him trying to be like tough guy. Just
stop.
Just stop.
Take
and
all
then
the Tim.
He wonders aloud on Gavin's podcast, why doesn't anybody trust us?
With the Alien Enemies Act 1700s and the deportation and
I think
just
it's
the
beginning.
I mean, this to me of all the things that has happened during the Trump administration, the notion that you can completely disregard the federal court and literally challenge the court just blatantly in contempt of court. I mean, that's the cornerstone of this constitutional democracy.
Why are they not trusting us? What's your take? I mean, what are you hearing when you hear this? Why are people not trusting the message we were delivering? Because I keep coming back to this. We needed to have immigration reform to control our borders, and you can do that with humanity. Donald Trump just said they're invading our country and they're eating dogs and cats, and he got more votes.
That's right. That's right.
Because you guys weren't getting shit done. You were just letting a bunch of illegals in that were hurting the people. That's exactly what was happening. My God, the amount of like 20 million people poured over our border. You weren't getting it. That's not reform, you jackhole. That's
and you
not
don't get to say now that we need immigration reform. We needed immigrate. You don't get to pretend like you were at all or are now concerned about the border.
Right.
You lost that right. Sorry, but no, you do not get to do that.
You had many years to fix it, and you didn't get the job done. And interestingly enough, in 8 weeks, Trump completely transformed the border. Weird how that works when you said that a president has no control over that. It's so weird.
He kind of does. Yeah. And the numbers now, you know, you've seen the stats. I mean, we're talking like 95, 96% down.
Right.
It's night and day. And there's nothing that Congress did. No. It's all Trump. And it's all just the attitude of saying, you don't get to invade our country.
Right.
Instead of being all mealy-mouthed and squirrely and just like, oh, we love everybody.
Oh,
that
he's
brings people.
Yeah. And they're self-deporting. It's not even that he's being mean. Like he can just talk, he can talk a big talk and say, oh my God, he's being so mean and talking about eating the cats and dogs, whatever. Take all the seats, Timmy. These people are self-deporting because we have somebody in office who's strong. There's strength there. And people are like, oh, I'm not going to break the law because this guy means business. That's all
I don't want to go to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Balls. There's consequences. There's deterrence.
Balls. It takes balls, and you don't have them, Tim. You don't have them, which is why I volunteer as tribute.
Well, and then for Gavin in that little clip too, to be like, it's just unheard of that administration would defy the courts. Dude, the student loan thing.
Right.
It wasn't even just a federal court. Joe Biden openly defied the Supreme Court multiple times.
The biggest one. The biggest
the top
court.
one.
Right. Uh-huh.
And he did it proudly. Like he was all Mr. Proud about it. And then now it's like nobody remembers that. Morning Joe yesterday too was like, we've just never seen this before. And then there's like somebody put together a clip of Joe Biden doing the thing that Morning Joe was like, he never had to do that.
Again, like I said, George W. Bush had to deal with this. Barack Obama had to deal with this repeatedly. Joe Biden had to deal with this. They didn't scream and yell and say we weren't going to listen to federal district court judges.
Supreme Court blocked me from relieving student debt, but they didn't stop me. So far, I've relieved student debt for nearly 5 million Americans. A significant number are black borrowers.
Morning Joe is Dilbert. He's Dilbert, right? He is Dilbert.
Do they not know about like video clips? Do they?
Because he was like, I don't see that. I don't see it. Yeah.
God. Nope. I mean, there's so much evidence of their hypocrisy, and and this clip of AOC has been going around too, where she was mad about a court ruling during the Biden administration. Or she was saying to the Biden administration, maybe you just don't listen to the courts. Like maybe you just don't do that. And Anderson Cooper was like, wait, you can't. How would that even work? And here's AOC explaining how this would work.
That the Biden administration should ignore this ruling. I think that the courts have the legitimacy and they rely on the legitimacy of their rulings. And what they are currently doing is engaged in an unprecedented and dramatic erosion of the legitimacy of the courts. It is the justices themselves, through the deeply partisan and unfounded nature of these rulings, that are undermining their own enforcement.
So you're saying the Biden administration should ignore this court, but what does that look like? What does that actually mean?
You know, I think the interesting thing when it comes to a ruling is that it relies on enforcement. And it is up to the Biden administration to choose whether or not to enforce such a ruling.
Oh, but is that okay? All right. So we're just not going to enforce it. Okay. Because it's a buffet. Again, it's a whole buffet. we're just going to pick and choose the laws that we want to actually enforce. So it's a buffet. Because if we feel good about it, then we'll enforce it. If we don't, if our feel bads kick in, then we're not gonna, because we're Democrats and we're hypocrites.
Well, and they're projecting. They're trying to say that Trump is ignoring or defying a court order, which he is not. The White House administration, this White House and this administration has been very specifically saying, no, we are not defying court orders. But this particular court order was, first of all, verbal. Planes were already in the air. You know, there was a lot of stuff. The written injunction or the written order did not come until the plane had landed in El Salvador. So we did not defy a court order. So they're always projecting and always excusing their own behavior and then like flipping out and ripping their hair out about anything Republicans do ever.
Not only that, but a lot of these people that came over, I'd say the majority of them that came over were breaking, more laws, like they were murdering, raping, doing all sorts of horrible things, right? These are some, like Trump would say, bad hombres. Right. I mean, they broke the law by just coming across our border to begin with. So bye.
And a lot of them were criminals in their own countries.
Right.
So, and then, and Venezuela in particular, they were like, oh, everybody's going, you guys, let's empty the prisons.
So why
Come on,
are they
Aragua?
Why are they defending these jackhats? Why? Ask
incredible.
yourself why Democrats are just overly defending criminals. Why? Over the safety and security of the American people. Why are they doing that?
And by the way, these are all the same people who were, they're all concerned right now about the due process rights of Tren de Aragua members. Right. But when the J6 people were held for years at a time without due process, they were like, this is fine.
Right. Totally.
And those
fine.
are American citizens. I mean,
Yeah.
what?
You are correct. You are
God.
absolutely correct. Yeah.
Everything they stand for is anti-American. Everything.
Yep.
God.
Commies. They're total straight up commies is what they are.
Oh my God. All right. We got to talk about Chuck Schumer because
Can't wait. I can't wait to talk about him. I can't.
So yesterday we talked about the fact that he's, canceled a good bit of his book tour, but he has been going on some friendly shows, The View being one of them. He was also, I think, on a radio show, but I don't know which one. And he accidentally said the most ridiculous thing about being at the gym. And the way that he talks about how it is to converse with Republicans is just it's inappropriate, you guys.
I'm hopeful that our Republican colleagues will resume working with us. And I talked to them. One of the places I told them to go in the gym, when you're on that bike in your shorts, panting away next to a Republican, a lot of the inhibitions come off.
Oh,
can you
really
not put it that way?
He probably needs to stop talking at this point, like completely stop talking. First of all, listen, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm going to be a little mean though. Can we be mean? Can I be mean?
Please, always.
Have you seen his wife? Have you seen her?
I have not. Oh, wait. Yes, I have. Is she the one that looks not like a woman? Exactly.
I have questions. Yeah. I have some questions.
Yeah.
Okay. And based on that paragraph that we just saw and the words that just came out of, I have questions.
I think there's reason to have
some questions.
Some questions.
Yeah. Couple. I have a couple.
Yeah, there are. Yeah. Well, and we've talked about this a lot over the last week or two. The fact that the Democrats don't have any, solid one leader that they can look to right now. Who God knows who Obama, where Obama is or what he's doing. He is checked out for the most part, and so Schumer considers himself to be the de facto leader, and he is everything the Democrats claim to hate: an old white man, right, and a Jew on top of it. Like it's like the sort of the trifecta of everything that Democrats don't like. So this is not serving the Democrat Party well. And of course, now everybody's mad at him on his own side because of what happened with the shutdown being averted. He was on The View to explain himself. I actually, just from an objective standpoint, totally understand his decision making. Like, it makes sense to me. But of course, if I were like a super leftist, I'd be mad. But here's how he explained his decision about moving forward with the vote on the CR to Whoopi.
Why?
Great.
What were you thinking and why?
Okay. So look, I knew it was a difficult choice, and I knew that I'd get a lot of criticism for my choice. But I felt as a leader I had to do it. Here's why. The CR bill was bad, no question. And it allowed a slush fund, which allowed money to be pushed around.
Explain it for the people who don't know what
There's
CR means.
CR means continue the government spending.
Right.
A shutdown, the alternative is cut off the government spending. And here's what would happen if we cut off government spending. It would be devastation like we have never seen. All government spending is stopped, all. And then the executive branch, Trump, Musk, Doge, and this really evil man people don't know about, Vote, who's head of OMB, his name is Vote.
What's OMB? What does OMB mean?
OMB is the Office of Management Budget, which determines the spending. And they could cut off anything they want simply by saying it's not essential. So, day 2, SNAP, food for poor kids, not essential. Day 4, mass transit, New York City subway and subways all over, not essential. Day 7, Medicaid, not essential.
This is nonsense.
He's so full of crap, though, isn't he? He is.
Yeah.
He's full of crap. You just keep spewing. I don't believe a word that comes out of his mouth.
Well, and he knows. This is probably why Democrats are mad at him, because he knows that Trump and Elon and Doge and all these, Vote, whatever, they were never going to say that SNAP or Medicaid were unessential. That's just not in the realm of reality.
They would really,
so for him to use that as an excuse, come on.
Because are you kidding me? They would absolutely never do that. One, it's political suicide,
right? And
but
they've already said they're not going to touch those things.
But also, they just wouldn't do it because they're not going to do it. They're good people, and they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But why? But for him to say that, it's just more fear mongering.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Absolutely.
That's all they've got because they don't have good policy.
And he also, there's like a clip that is going around right now that people are suggesting this should be part of Republican candidate ads, because he does the thing where, was it Obama that was like, who was it? Obama that tried to suggest during his earliest campaign that, or I think it was Elizabeth Warren, maybe, that Democrats were basically trying to say, you didn't earn that. Remember, like, you didn't build that business. You had help from such and such parts of all the government. Do you remember that?
It was Obama. And I think it was remember even like the Joe the Plumber stuff. Remember all that?
Well, that was like, you've made enough money, right?
Right.
But wasn't it Elizabeth Warren who was like, you didn't build that? Is she the one?
Probably. It was some liberal quack that has never owned a business in their whole life or done anything to do anything except for be a parasitic leech on the American people.
Right. Well, he's going with that sort of mentality when he talked about all these people who hate the government, because essentially he's trying to suggest they wouldn't be anywhere without the government. Here is a little bit of that.
Hate the government. They want to shut down everything. You heard what Musk said, $2 trillion. And you know what their attitude is? I made my money all by myself. How dare your government take my money from me? I don't want to pay taxes. Or I built my company with my bare hands. How dare your government tell me how I should treat my customers, my the land and water that I own, or my employees. They hate government. Government's a barrier to people. A barrier to stop them from doing things. They want to destroy it. We are not letting them do it, and we're united.
What a piece of shit this guy is.
Worst messaging ever.
I swear, play it on a loop, GOP. If you don't take that clip and play it on a loop and make that an ad and just keep playing it, he is mocking. He's mocking middle America. He's mocking anybody who's an entrepreneur, who runs a business, who pays people. He's mocking every single American who pays his salary and all the salaries of all the federal government. He's mocking all of us. All of us. He just mocked us all. So what would he do without the money that we give him? With the money that we've made him rich with, what would he do?
Like, and imagine that there's so many Democrats out there who are like, yeah, this is a winning message to tell people the government still needs to be as big, as, intrusive as it currently is. That's what they're going with.
And then to turn around and mock the hand that feeds you, like that's good messaging. They are cooked, man. They are cooked.
I hope so, because seriously, I don't know what else they have to do.
Honestly, keep doing it. But if the GOP doesn't use this as an ad and just keep using it and pound that into the ground, they have the worst PR people. Like, I'm imploring you to use this.
Yeah. I mean, they just keep stepping on their own dicks.
Oh my God. That is what they think of you. That's what all these people think of you. That's what Democrats think of the American people. You're just one big ATM. That's what you are.
So just shut up and keep paying.
Shut up and keep giving them your money, because that's all you are. That's all you are to them.
It's incredible. He also wants you to know that he stays up at night worrying about oligarchs.
So a lot of people responded to the anguish. I appreciate it. I wake up 3 a.m. sometimes, so worried about the future of the country under these oligarchs or klepto, whatever, oligarchs, I guess.
Yes.
And but
I highly doubt that he lays awake at night worrying about anything. I feel like he sleeps pretty well.
He worries about Elon cutting off the money train.
Maybe
I think he worries about that.
Yeah. I mean, if he wakes up and he looks at his wife, that's probably pretty frightening. Oh my God, what is that? But
oh, that's my wife.
That's right. That's my wife. But other than that, I mean, he probably sleeps pretty soundly knowing that he can rely on the ATM. That is the American people. What a jerk this guy is. I cannot explain to you how much I loathe him. I can't.
I know. And you know what? His nose, like, it makes me so angry, like how angular it is. Everything about his face is so angular, and it makes me rage.
The elitism in these people is just off the charts. It's not supposed to be this way, you guys. Like, we are literally frogs in the boiling water, and so many people, they've gotten used to how elitist these jerks are. Our founders are spinning in their graves. It's not supposed to be like this. It's not.
It's
So
it's
angry.
amazing how the right and the left have switched places on so many
Totally.
things, because
Totally.
I just it's incredible to me that how the left is promoting bigger government and like bigger military and like all of the things that are just so antithetical to what they've stood for.
And
Wow.
mocking the middle class, mocking entrepreneurship. He mocked us. There are not enough middle fingers. Just not.
Well, Sunny Hostin not buying what he was selling. She's still mad, and he tried to win her over. You can decide if you think that this was effective.
On in the Democratic Party right now is not between hard left, right, and moderate. It's between those who want to fight and those who want to cave. And it gives me no pleasure to say this to you because we are friends, but I think you caved. I think you and 9 other Democrats caved. I don't think you showed the fight that this party needs right now, because you're playing with by a rule book where the other party has thrown that rule book away.
True.
And so in my view, what you did really was, in supporting that GOP partisan bill that Democrats had no input in, you cleared the way for Donald Trump and Elon Musk to gut Social Security, to gut Medicare, to gut Medicaid. Why did you lead Democratic senators to play by that book that the Republicans are not playing by?
Okay, first, I'd say, Sonny, no one wants to fight more than me, and no one fights more than me. You got to fight smart. It is not true. That bill had far less it was bad. I hated it. But it does far less damage to Social Security. Medicare, Medicaid are far more susceptible to being eliminated, which is what that horrible Musk. Can you imagine this guy Musk, a billionaire, saying $1,100 for a senior citizen is not necessary,
But aren't
or
there
a Ponzi
cuts
scheme?
in that bill?
There are many fewer cuts in that bill than that would be in a shutdown.
But they
it was
still
a bad
exist.
choice. So we got to. Yes, they exist. But
You
if you
have to
have
work with
two,
the cards
if
you
you
have.
have two choices, one bad, the other devastating. One chops off one of your fingers, the other chops off your arm.
I don't think she bought it. Like, she did not buy anything he was selling.
And also, what are they going to do when we don't cut Social Security and Medicare? What is their talking point going to be? It's kind of like the egg thing, you know? The egg, oh my God, eggs. They haven't brought down prices of eggs in the 2 hours that he's been in office. He hasn't done it yet. He hasn't done it. Oh my God. Like he's a complete failure. And then all of a sudden egg prices came down, and it's like
a lot.
Yeah. And then crickets. Like, notice how they're not talking about eggs. Like, all of a sudden egg prices aren't important anymore. It's so weird how that works, right? And then they like constant spewing of Social Security and Medicare, and they're going to cut it, and they're going to like hurt grandma. And oh my God, it's like they're going to steal from you. Elon's stealing. When that doesn't happen, what are they going to do? Because these people have no policies. They don't have anything, you guys. They don't have crap.
They just have fear mongering. That's it. And at some point, everyone is like, we don't buy that there's a wolf anymore, Peter.
Right.
You've said it a million times. The wolf never comes. We're done believing you. Like, this is what they risk.
They just keep doing it. And they keep doing it. So eventually, when none of the crap happens, Democrats are going to have to open their eyes and see that these people are full of shit. They have to, because they haven't. I don't know. I mean, well,
There's
I guess
dumb people.
the ones with the ones that the blue dye has just completely permeated their brains. I don't think there's any hope for those people. But there have to be some people, some Democrats out there, like there have to be just maybe like, I don't know, 3 or 4 where they're going to be looking and going, wait, none of this stuff is coming true. It's not. They've just been trying to scare me, and it's not working. So it's nuts.
The thing that always makes, because we share a lot of crazy liberal videos, and the thing that always gives me some hope and comfort is watching all the walk away videos. And they're still happening, you guys. There are still people today who are walking away from the Democrat Party because of the attitudes towards Elon Musk, or because of the attitudes towards immigration, or they see how much Democrats have lied. So it continues to happen. And then, of course, we hear all the stats about how young people, this is the most conservative young generation that we've seen in decades. And that is also super encouraging.
It is encouraging. Yeah, it's great. I think that this generation now, like our kids are kind of like what we were. They're a lot like Gen X. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
They're
I think
a
that's
lot
right.
like us. Which is very promising because Gen X is feral, man. I'm all
We
for it.
absolutely are.
Yeah.
Because we're still talking about Chuck Schumer. I got one more clip to play because Gayle King pestered him about, resigning essentially as leader. But before we get to that, I saw somebody ask about, what's going on with Daily Wire. Because there was a headline yesterday from Axios that Jeremy Boring was stepping down as co-CEO from Daily Wire. And the other guy whose name I don't remember, the other CEO, I think it's Caleb something. He's going to be like full-time CEO, and Jeremy Boring is going to focus on essentially being a movie star. I think that's what he really wants to be. So he's going to be, doing more of the creative side of the thing. So I don't see it as being a huge deal, except that Brett Cooper posted this this GIF essentially of thinking that it's super juicy, and then Candace Owens reposted that, and so they clearly do not like Jeremy Boring, and there's some history with them.
I feel like there's some girl hate there against him.
There's some girl hate.
What does he call himself? The something God?
The God King.
The God King. There's some girl hate against the God King. Apparently, I don't know. We're not in that inner circle, but just looking from the outside in, that's what it appears to be to me.
But I don't understand all of the conservative. There seems to be this. There's a lot of conservatives who are eager for the Daily Wire to fail. And I'm just like, why? Why would you? They've been they've been on the forefront of so much help in the conservative movement. I don't understand. I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, I agree with that, Mock. And it's it's a conservative cultural revolution that's happened over the past several years. And we've always been go conservatives, do more pop culture stuff. And they have done that. And I will never poo-poo that. I will never say don't do that. I'll never cheer for somebody's demise who does that. I think it's great what they've done. They've had movies, they've done children's programming. I love everything that they do. They're awesome. So I want them to succeed.
I do too. I don't know why I don't know why we wouldn't be rooting for them. I just don't understand the people that want to see that entire organization crumble. Why? There's so much infighting, and
it's stupid. I know. I've never understood that either. It's really stupid. Everybody can coexist, the Breitbart, and the Daily Wires, and the Prager. I feel like there's a place for everybody, and then just find your place. You may have more than one
do your
place.
thing. Right.
It's
remember the whole Steven Crowder thing, when Crowder, called them out for only wanting to offer him $30 million. That whole fight was so irritating too.
Stupid.
And I don't hope that Steven Crowder goes down. He does great stuff. Keep it going. Daily Wire, keep it going. Conservatives, keep it going on every level. Do all the things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to make fun of you because you were pissed off for only being offered 30 million.
Right.
But by all means, continue to succeed.
Yes. Please.
Right.
The more the merrier in all the platforms. All right. So Chuck also stopped by Gayle King's show, and she was like, people want you gone. What do you have to say about that? And here is that little exchange.
They were saying, look, it's time for you to go. They no longer trust your leadership. They want somebody else in there. What do you say about that?
Here's what I say.
In your own party saying you've got to go.
Here's what I'm saying. I'm the best leader for the Senate. We have a lot of leaders. When you don't have a president, there's not one leader of the party. There are lots of them. We have a lot of good people. But I am the best at keep winning Senate seats. I've done it in 2005. Just in 2020, no one thought we'd take back the Senate. Under my leadership, we took it. So we now are executing.
You're not going anywhere.
We have a great. We're moving forward.
They're moving forward, you guys.
Keep him.
Keep
him there.
Keep
him in charge. Please, God, keep him in charge.
No, it's the greatest. He's the greatest leader ever.
The gift that keeps on giving. Yep.
Oh my gosh. All right. So unfortunately, we do have some issues on our own side. Which I am about to point out. There's two issues that we're going to talk about. First of all, again, as I just said about Steven Crowder and Daily Wire and all the things and all the places and all the conservatives doing their thing on their various platforms. So I also think that about Steve Bannon, the War Room, even Alex Jones, who I'm not a fan of at all. Keep it going. Do your thing. All of us play a role, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do not think it serves conservatives well, or the Republican Party in general, for Steve Bannon to be suggesting that Trump have a third presidential term.
No, that's just stupid.
This
Stop it.
is freaking idiotic. But this is what he said on the Chris Cuomo show.
President Trump, I'm a firm believer that President Trump will run and win again in 2028. So I've already endorsed President Trump. A man like this comes along once every century if we're lucky. We've got him now. He's on fire, and I'm a huge supporter. Want to see him again in 2028.
Just stop.
And obviously, anybody who doesn't like what you say, but judges it as a function of a lack of intelligence, doesn't know anything about you. I don't make that mistake. You're a smart guy. You know he's term limited. How do you think he gets another term?
We're working on it. I think we'll have a couple of alternatives. Let's say that.
The arrogance, man. I just can't.
I just can't.
Just stop with the we'll work on it.
I mean, that literally just confirms what Democrats say. Oh,
Right.
we're never going to have another election, or what?
It's an
all of this
oligarchy.
stuff.
It's an oligarchy.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Just stop it, Bannon. Just stop.
God. And he's going to be 82, 83 by the time this term is over. Can we not?
And people are saying he's trolling. Okay, well, I don't like it when don't troll. There's no need to troll. Trump can get shit done, and then it's somebody else. We've got great people on the bench. So many great people. Better people than the Democrats. Don't be an idiot. Don't screw this up for us.
That did not sound like a troll to me. That sounded like he's really working on figuring out redefining what term limits are and all that.
Stop it. Just stop. Yeah.
Dislike.
Don't be an idiot.
And then, unfortunately, even though Mitch McConnell did the right thing by stepping down from leadership, he continues to exist in his role as senator. And you guys, he should not. Look at
or talk to him about it being a bad policy at all?
My hearing is not what it used to be.
Tariffs, Senator. Your comment is about tariffs. Tariffs.
Oh my God.
Comment about tariffs.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a fan of tariffs. I hope it works.
He is a walking cadaver.
My God. It's time. I mean, okay, just step aside.
Look, it was time 10 years ago. It was time. Oh my God. These people, and I'm sorry. I know that's not nice to say he's a walking cadaver, but I don't care about being nice. You know how much money that guy makes and takes from us? He's supposed to be representing the American people. GTFO.
Step
down. Go spend time with your grandkids. Go. You should have done that years ago. I just don't have sympathy for these people. I don't.
Yeah. I mean, that's just
gross.
Not okay. It's not okay.
She's literally in his ear going, I have to read this for you because they
said tariffs.
My God.
And then he's just like,
Embarrassing.
I don't like them.
What?
Okay, thanks for that. Thanks for that.
Great.
Super.
Thanks, Gramps. Here's your
God.
pudding. I can't.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
God.
bad. All right. Moving on. Do you guys remember yesterday we played that clip of the girl on TikTok or wherever who she was a server at a Mexican restaurant saying if she sees families that are wearing MAGA gear come into the Mexican restaurant, they're not allowed to eat Mexican cuisine because they want Latinos sent home to Mexico, which is stupid. So apparently lots of people went after her for that, figured out what restaurant she worked at. She ended up getting fired. And then she released a video talking about how insane it is that people came after her to that extent, which I don't entirely disagree with. Like, I think consequences are fine. And if you come out publicly and you say, I think MAGA should be kicked out of a Mexican restaurant, there should be consequences for that. And there are, but is she right at all about the overreaction? Listen to what she says and then we can discuss.
Every MAGA person watching this, okay, please listen carefully to my words. I don't work there anymore. I see you guys commenting the location of my job, the address of my job on all of my videos. I see it. I don't work there anymore. Commenting the name of my job. I don't work there anymore. They let me go because of my video, and that's fine. It's a restaurant. I'll get another job. But you guys are fucking insane and sick in the fucking head. You get so mad that someone tells you that a certain cuisine isn't for you that you're gonna try to dox someone and hunt them down at their job and make them and all their coworkers feel unsafe? Because I said that since you vote against Latinos, you shouldn't be able to enjoy Mexican food? I didn't even serve the MAGA table at my restaurant. They weren't my table. I didn't speak to them once. I didn't speak to them once. They didn't get bad service from me because I wasn't their server. You guys can't watch a little video of me roasting MAGA on TikTok without getting your fucking panties in a twist? Are you dead ass? I don't work there anymore. Please leave my job alone and leave my coworkers and managers alone.
Quit making videos.
What is wrong with you people? Like, genuinely, what the like, are you sick in the fucking head? Get help.
You are.
Oh my God.
You racist. We didn't vote against Latinos. We didn't vote against them. That's not what we did. So get your facts straight, you idiot. That's not what we voted against. We voted against illegal immigration in addition to a whole slew of other things. But like, it's so embarrassing to me. I work alongside so many Latinos here in Texas that are Republicans. They are conservatives. I'm so sick of people like her acting as if they don't exist. Screw her. She is a racist. We don't like your racism. I hope she doesn't get hired again. Seriously.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. You put out that kind of content, not just your current employer who's going to see it, but then potential future employers are going to see it. You've now made yourself a little bit famous.
Right.
In other words, you've FA'd and FO'd about putting out content that is that psycho into the world. You're going to draw out also some behavior on the right, of, I guess, doxing and like figuring out where she worked. And I don't like the fact that there's people going and threatening her employer like that. I just feel like that goes over the top. And consequences to her, fine. But like if they're like yelling at the employer because of what she said, they let her go already. Like enough. You know what I mean? We don't need to be bothering the employer. It's not their fault.
She's learned nothing, Mock. She's learned nothing. She hasn't learned what I just said, that people didn't vote against Latinos. She's learned nothing. She doesn't understand that we're not a bunch of racists. That's not what this is about. It's like, and then I don't get to go in and enjoy Mexican food because I'm MAGA? What the hell? What is that? She's a racist. And so if she's going to continue to make videos that are in fact racist, she will suffer consequences.
She should, but like, should her employer, should the Mexican restaurant? That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't, but she needs to understand that if she continues to make videos that are racist, she's going to suffer consequences. Period. End of story. So maybe quit making stupid ass videos that are racist. Good Lord. This isn't difficult.
Well, and it's different. If you're calling a Mexican restaurant, you're saying there's a video of somebody that you employ that's saying really awful things and you should know about it. I have no problem with that. But it's like the threats to the restaurant, stuff like that is ridiculous. It's not as ridiculous as the left actually being violent and doing horrible things to Tesla owners. This is absolutely out of control, and it is domestic terrorism and should be treated as such. There is a guy in, I think, San Jose who was literally caught in the act in a parking lot, keying a Tesla. And the guy that caught him on camera and got his license plate and everything confronted him. And this is what happened.
Well, you're on video. I plainly saw you doing it. You pulled up right next to it and then you keyed it. Oh, shit. You want to bet?
Oh my God, dude, there's a camera.
Whatever.
Oh my
Whatever,
God.
he said.
I can't.
Because that guy got the video, he got the license plate of that guy's car. San Jose police announced that they did arrest him and they charged him with felony vandalism, which is exactly what needs to happen. Exactly what needs to happen.
And they all have cameras, right? I don't know much about.
Yeah.
Okay. Every single one of them has a camera. Okay.
I think so.
Because they're Teslas. I mean, they basically can drive themselves. So I figured
Yeah.
they would probably have a lot of bells and whistles on them. Yesterday, I was talking to my daughter. Well, when we were traveling last week, we saw a lot of Teslas in Florida. We see them a lot here because we live close to Austin. And there's a lot of Teslas around here. And she's like, Mom, one day, you know, she wants to be an engineer. And she's like, I just think they're cool. She's not like and she's not a little environmentalist or anything like that, but she just thinks Teslas are really, really cool. And
they're
she's
beautiful cars, except for the Cybertruck, which is god awful.
The Cybertruck is just, the Cybertruck is awful. It's just awful.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'd love one day to have a Tesla. I'm like, well, you work hard, you buy your own Tesla one day. That would be cool. And then I'll take a ride in it, but I'm probably not going to ever buy a Tesla. And she thinks they're really neat. And then we were talking about it yesterday about this vandalism thing. And she's like, wait, I thought that all the environmentalists loved Elon once upon a time. And then I had to explain to her that they are, in fact, idiots. Because it was okay when he was wanting to save the world. They loved him. But now that he wants to save the United States and he's with Donald Trump, they hate him. And even a teenager understands how freaking stupid that is.
It's absolutely asinine.
It is.
Especially because I don't know about the actual stats, but so many Tesla owners bought Teslas because they're environmentalist liberals. And so the fact that their cars are now getting keyed, you would think that would trigger something in them, that maybe they have been thinking about their own party wrong this entire time.
Right. I know.
It's madness.
It's crazy.
And the damage and destruction is out of control. There was this Las Vegas, not a dealership, but like a place where you get Teslas fixed. Essentially, somebody set on fire. They threw Molotov cocktails into this Vegas dealership and set all of these owned Teslas on fire. It's out of control.
Party of tolerance, you guys. Party of tolerance and acceptance, and love and compassion. Look at them go. Look at them be compassionate and loving.
And it gets even worse because now there's a website called DogeQuest that apparently is doxing every single Tesla owner so that people who want to attack Tesla owners know where they live. Like, this is insane. And these are the same people who are like, Elon shouldn't have access to my personal information. Meanwhile, let me publish personal information of all these Tesla owners.
Yeah.
These people are absolutely out of their minds insane.
Yeah, they're probably pulling up to like burn down the Tesla dealerships in their Priuses with coexist bumper stickers.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. All right. What the hell? Yeah.
There was a TikToker gal, a Tesla owner, who put this really, really well. She's sick and tired of this shit, and she should be.
Absolutely insane that driving a Tesla in 2025 puts a giant target on your back. Not because of the car itself, not because of something I did, but because a bunch of deranged leftists think Elon is a Nazi. So now I get to mentally prepare myself every time I park for some activist with the IQ of a fucking cinder block to key my car. Like, imagine being so fucking brainwashed you think vandalizing some random person's property is activism. Teslas are literally the safest cars on the road. They're made in America. They're pushing tech forward. They're reducing reliance on foreign oil. But no, let's go ahead and destroy them because Elon lets people say mean things on the internet and he one time did a weird hand gesture. Like, it's so fucking stupid. This is what the left does. They don't build, they don't innovate, they just destroy. They make life worse for everyone, including themselves. So now I get to mentally prepare myself. I'm going to come out of Trader Joe's one day and my car's going to be keyed. It's so fucking stupid. And they wonder why I left the left.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
I love this meme too, because it says, look at them overreacting and refusing to buy Bud Light.
I'm burning for Tesla. Yeah. To the ground. They're crazy. Listen, we lived through the George Floyd summer, right? We lived through that. I mean, it's like, that's their idea of activism.
Yeah.
That is their idea about it's burning stuff and destroying stuff. We've lived through it, you guys. I mean, I'm not surprised by any of this. Are you guys surprised by this? I'm not.
I'm a little surprised at Democrats openly rooting against America. I think I'm a little bit surprised.
Really? I'm not.
At how low they've gone. Even people like Tim Walz, who literally ran to be leader of the country, vice leader of the country, he is celebrating Tesla's struggle, like their stock going down. He is actively celebrating that. Just listen.
Saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day.
What a piece of shit.
225 and dropping. So.
Yeah, I could take him.
And if you own one, we're not blaming you. You can take dental floss and pull the Tesla thing off, you know, and take out, just telling you.
This was Elon's response. He said, sometimes when I need a little boost, I look at the JD Vance portrait in the White House and thank the Lord.
So true. Praise be, right? Praise be.
Perfect.
You look at a Tim Walz, you look at these liberals who are cheering on the government stealing from you and me. We're not the same.
Not the same at all.
I mean, I think after 16 years of doing this, I have never felt so disconnected from other people in my country as I do now. We are not the same. I'm just not as these people. If you're cheering that on, if you're cheering on the destruction of a company, of a guy who literally is a freaking genius, he is the American dream. When my daughter says, hey, I'd love to have a Tesla one day, and I look at Elon Musk and she wants to be an engineer and she sees him, I love that she looks up to a guy like Elon Musk, you know? I don't care about his personal life. I don't care about anything he does personally. I'm talking about him as a genius and an innovator and an engineer. You cannot, if you deny that the guy has done amazing things in his life in America, if you deny that, we're not the same.
And there is no bigger patriot that I can think of right now, because the risks that he is taking. In fact, one of the biggest Tesla stock owners or whatever is now openly calling for him to resign because he's so divisive. And I feel so bad for him because he doesn't have to do any of this. He is only doing it to try to save our country from bankruptcy. And this is the thanks he gets. And he was on Fox last night and he was talking about just how he's surprised by how evil people are being about Tesla. Here he is talking about it. I just feel so sorry for him, you guys. I feel really, really bad.
Smashing up Teslas. Tesla is a peaceful company. We've never done anything harmful. I've never done anything harmful. I've only done productive things. So I think we just have a deranged, there's some kind of mental illness thing going on here, because this doesn't make any sense. Yeah, and I think there are larger forces at work as well. I mean, I don't know who's funding it and who's coordinating it, because this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
You actually tweeted out, and I'll put it on the screen, the level of violence is insane. It is deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's totally right. You could tell that he's so hurt by it too.
Yeah, that's why it makes my heart hurt.
He's personally hurt by it. Jennifer said he's our Tony Stark. I agree. He is like our Tony Stark. And it makes me sad too, because from a personal perspective, he's so much like Trump in the fact that Trump didn't need this either.
Right.
He was just, the guy was loaded. He didn't do any of this crap. He didn't take salary. And then people demonized him. The left demonized him. But I think what this is doing is it's solidifying Elon's place in the world. And Elon was a freaking Democrat, you guys. He was on the left. And then he was like, wait, these people are a little nuts. And now he's like, wait, these people are, in fact, lunatics. Oh my God. They're violent lunatics. And they're like, I want no part of that. So I think he is on the right. He is grounded, like on the right. I think he was sort of like just, sort of on the right, but now
it's like he didn't like the woke stuff, but now it's like he doesn't like any of the left positions
because they have shown their true colors to him.
Yeah.
They are flat out just out there. They are trying to destroy him. And he's like, holy crap, these people are loons. And so there's no doubt in my mind that he is firmly planted on the right now because he sees what we've seen for a very long time, that these people are utter lunatics.
I saw a video too, and I felt sorry for like this Cybertruck owner. This chick out on social media somewhere has like a pink Cybertruck, and she took a video of what it's like for her now to just be at a stoplight, and the person parked next to her was just giving her the finger. Just for having that car.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And I would be terrified right now. If that was my daily driver and I had to be out in the world in it, I would literally be afraid because of how psycho people are being right now.
I would be just flipping other people. I would be flipping people back. So there's a difference between you and me. I'd be like, oh yeah, okay. And I'd get one of those like blow up middle fingers and just hold it up all day long. it fills me with rage. It fills me with rage. These people are children, and it's mean to children.
Well, hang on, because your rage is about to get a little bit worse. I raged so hard on behalf of Scott Jennings last night. I cannot tell you how infuriating this woman that you are about to see is. Her name is Neera Tanden. She is like the CEO of the Center for Progress or something like that. She's the worst of the worst. You think he's fought with bad people on CNN in the past? You could tell that this woman made him madder than anybody else has. He was infuriated. I've never seen him this mad. And she has this face because they're fighting about Elon. She has that face that Kamala had during the debate. I was half expecting her to go like this. You know how Kamala did during the debate?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. This runs a little bit long, but he gets her, and he needed to get her.
The night Donald Trump said these are domestic terrorists, everybody laughed about it and scoffed at it. That video looks like terrorism to me. I mean, it's obviously an organized, coordinated effort, however people are communicating with each other, to do this to people around the country who chose to buy a Tesla at some point in the past, many of whom I'm sure are Democrats who bought them in the first place, all because their entire political worldview is ruled by their emotions. And that's the American left right now. It is one angry mob after another willing to take things into their own hands, up to and including keying, firebombing, and otherwise vandalizing cars and car dealerships and charging stations. It's outrageous. It is terrorism. People ought to be put in jail and left there for a very long time and be taught a lesson.
So when they do it to a Tesla dealership, it's really bad. But when they do it to the halls of Congress, we should pardon them. Is that your position?
No, I've never. I don't
Are
support,
we okay with the January 6th pardons?
I know you haven't been around for a while, so let me educate you about my position about January the 6th.
I'm so sorry.
Let me educate you. No, you don't need to. You don't need to be condescending to me. So let me educate you about my position. You want to attack me? Let me finish it. Let me finish it.
Oh, it's on.
Let's do this January 6th and then near.
I'm sorry you're getting emotional.
I'm sorry you're a condescending person who hasn't been paying attention to what I do.
Stop, guys.
So here's the issue. I didn't support what happened on January the 6th and was one of the first Republicans to call it out. I don't support the pardons. I have repeatedly, just like my friend Ashley here, said that no violence in our political system is acceptable. But this right here, what's going on with a guy who helps our country, who runs successful companies, who doesn't have to be doing this, and now one of his companies is under systematic terroristic threat and violence all over the country, and people seem to be laughing about it or fine with it. It's outrageous. I've sat at this table and had people say, we should cut Elon Musk from the government totally. He rescued our astronauts today. Is that what we want? The treatment of this guy is outrageous. These people who are doing this need to be found, put in jail, and made an example of. That's my point.
Anyone who commits violence against Tesla or Congress or anyone else should be put in jail, 1,000%. But that should not stifle dissent or opposition.
No. God, I hate her. Oh my God.
She should get that sinus thing checked. Whatever it is she's got going on, because it's really troublesome.
Her
I don't.
Face.
Mm-hmm. I don't listen. I support the pardons. I actually didn't know his stance on that, but I support the J6 pardons. I support him. So
I mean, the people were in prison long enough.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like enough is enough.
Absolutely, I support the pardons. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That was.
But
tense.
I mean, he wanted to say the B word. He wanted to say it. You condescending person, he said. He didn't want to say person. He didn't want to. You could tell.
Man, I've never seen him that mad though. Like that he was mad.
Yeah, he was really.
And I would have been too. Just looking at that face makes me mad.
There was a lot of smugness going on. Who is?
I mean,
that?
weren't you just waiting for this?
Yeah, well, she was just like, yeah, it was that face. God, I know. I just cannot. I can't stand that face.
Yeah, that was infuriating. Speaking of faces that we want to punch, there was
not that we condone violence on the show.
Not that we would never do that.
Except for me wanting to fight Tim Walz, which is totally different.
That's totally different. He's the one that he challenged you, essentially.
He challenged me to a duel, you guys. What am I supposed to do?
I know this came from the Bill Maher, Don Lemon thing. Like when Bill Maher had Don Lemon on his podcast, Don Lemon said to him that he
Table
was
at my
a victim-
restaurant.
oh,
They
shoot.
weren't my.
I'm sorry. He said to him that he was a victim of sexual harassment. And you guys, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
It's
but
hilarious. You should laugh. Do you know who we are? It's hilarious. Somebody touched his nipples and said, "It's cold in here." That's what they said. That's harassment.
This is ridiculous. Okay.
I'm doing that to my husband like every time it's cold now. I'm going to do that. Are you guys going to do that to your husbands? Seriously, ladies.
I can't. He is so absurd. He is a cartoon of a person. Like this isn't real.
He is a cartoon character of a person. Like so he should have sued. He should have sued for that because that would have been like the most awesome thing to talk about. I'm upset that he didn't sue that person, that lady who walked up to him and said, "Oh my God," and touched his nipples, like tune in and said, "It's cold in here, isn't it?" Somebody.
There's no way. I do not believe for 1 second that this happened. I just don't.
My God. I actually do. I do believe it because we worked in radio and I do believe it. I believe that somebody would have done that on our floor. We worked in a frat house and radio. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what CNN is like.
To somebody like Don, yeah, we would have done that to Hammer and Nigel. No problem.
Totally would have. We totally would have done that to Hammer and Nigel.
I would have never done that to somebody like Don Lemon.
No, I wouldn't have either. But Hammer would have loved it. He would have totally loved
welcomed it.
And then he would have turned around and smacked one of our butts. You know what I mean?
And it would have all been
we would have been like, that's great. This is, I swear. But then again, I don't know if Don Lemon is a Gen Xer, but we're also Gen Xers and we don't take everything as sexual harassment.
I think he is. I think he's around our age, maybe a tiny bit older.
He's just
tiny bit.
God, that guy is a constant victim too. Just a constant victim.
He's a biatch, man.
He is a biatch. Yeah.
Okay, so I never thought that I would see the day where somebody made me feel a little bit of pity for Alec Baldwin, and yet it's happened. So you may not know, you shouldn't know, nobody should know that there's a reality show that features Hilaria Baldwin and her husband Alec, and they're like 19 billion kids. But there is a reality show. Somebody agreed to film them. I guess people watch it. And so now they're out promoting it. And she is a narcissistic psychopath. Hilaria Baldwin is a lunatic. And I feel sorry for him. You're going to see a couple clips just smushed together of them on a red carpet talking about this new reality show. She treats him so awful, you guys. It is unreal.
Oh my God, you're distracting me right now. Sorry. Like now you're just doing that. Why? Why are you distracting me? You're just distracting me. No, but beautiful. Oh my God, stop. You're annoying me. Stop. It's not cute. No, he's distracting me.
Wait, there's more. Wait, there's more.
All this is great. I think it's karma. Karma is a savage bitch. And that is what he's experiencing. Have you ever, I know you feel sorry for him, but I don't. Not 1 single percent do I feel sorry for him, because have you seen him treat women in the past? Also,
well, that's fair.
He's like the way he treated his daughter in that phone call. Do we forget that? The way he's treated women in general in the past. Do we remember, or have we forgotten about the fact that he allegedly did not unalive a woman on a set just a couple years ago? Was it a couple years ago? I don't even remember that. Like that woman is now gone and her family, and nothing happened to him. Nothing. I don't feel sorry for this guy one bit. He's a jerk. He's an arrogant prick. And I don't feel one bit sorry for him.
He is married to a narcissistic psychopath.
Sure.
That woman is legit crazy. Crazy. Especially the whole thing with the fake accent that she's already, she's been made fun of incessantly for that, rightly so. And the fact that she is that's how she treats him in public.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what a beast. What a beast.
He saw what she looked like and he married her based on looks, and look what he got. It's all karma, man. This is, I love it. I think it's great. I'm enjoying all of it. She's awful.
Wow.
She's mean. He deserves every bit of it.
I guess they deserve each other.
They do deserve each other, don't they?
They really do. Also, I'm only sharing the next headline with you because I saw it and I don't feel like I should have to suffer with this headline by myself. So now you're going to know it too.
Oh my God.
This was in the New York Post, and it was a story about a woman who is an 800-pound sex worker. She makes $5,000 a month role playing. There is a market for this. There are people who pay her to pretend that she is a giant people eater. And I'm going to show you the picture.
Oh gosh, here we go.
You're welcome.
Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay.
There she is.
I bet I know who she
makes
voted
money.
for. I know who she voted for. What do you guys want to bet? Was that lasagna? Because I was just looking at the lasagna. It looked pretty good, actually. The lasagna did.
This is a living. Somebody makes a living.
Yeah.
Doing that.
I guess you got to give her credit for not being on disability, right?
Fair.
There's the
That's
silver
fair.
lining. There's the silver lining right there. I'm your silver lining girl. I'm your huckleberry, you guys. Completely disgusting, but there you go.
It's not much of a silver lining, but if you got to have a silver lining, that is the silver lining. All right, it is time for some good stuff. You know, we never leave you hanging on something like that. And this is especially for you because I know how you love Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
and
I love him. Yes.
Apparently there was a woman out in the where is he? Is he Australia or New Zealand?
He's Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she was somewhere in the wild in Australia doing a weather report, and he just came out of nowhere and decided to help.
To find a horse, so I thought I should hot-foot it up to one of the horse studs and check out the beautiful.
Heard you talking about looking for some horses. There's a bunch down here actually, which I've noticed in the paddock. What are you doing?
I would die.
Well, we're doing the weather for the Today Show, and I often get teased about not having the best presenting skills or pronunciation. You want to help me out?
Yeah, let's mispronounce all of these. All right. Cairns, possible shower, 28. Townsville, sunny, good, 28 as well.
God.
Sunshine Coast, shower or two, 22. So maybe get a raincoat ready there. Brisbane, partly cloudy, 23. Gold Coast, partly cloudy too, 23 as well.
So
Sydney,
hot.
sunny, 22, fantastic. Canberra, partly cloudy, 19.
No good for Melbourne again.
No, Melbourne, rain increasing, 16.
Having a shocker in Melbourne. What about a shout out to our friends in Melbourne who are locked down?
Hello, all my friends in Melbourne. I'm from Melbourne. I'm a Victorian, but that rain, get your brollies out as well.
He handled that really well. I probably would have grabbed his nipples to see how cold it was.
You would have been grabbing more than his nipples.
Oh my God, he's so hot, isn't he?
It's the voice. The voice is very, very dreamy.
He's the best Hemsworth. He really is. I mean, there's a lot of great Hemsworths, but
that whole family, my God,
it's ridiculous. Have you ever seen his mom and dad? The mom,
I
and dad,
know
they're gorgeous too. It's not even fair how many good genes are in that family. It's not fair.
Yeah, they got their share for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next we have an advertisement sort of for a baby feeding device that is anti-spill. Okay. So it looks like it would work really, really well. They have not met this toddler.
I love it. That is so great. He's like, take that.
That baby was not having it. I love it. Love it.
I spill my butt. Yeah.
Hide your kids and hide your wives. You are about to watch what happens to this particular cashier just working her normal shift at a convenience store gas station, probably on some highway somewhere. She gets the most hilarious customers ever. This cracked me up so many different ways. Behold.
Hello, how you doing? Must be nice working in the fucking air, fucking bitch.
Hello. What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, you don't mind if I pay you a little bit of change, do you?
No, that's fine.
All right, well, check this out. All right, let me get that on pump two.
What?
Man, let me get that on.
Hey, how are you? It's hot outside today, ain't it?
How much is the fucking chips?
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. $1.99.
$1.99 for that? Why is it so expensive?
Because this is a convenience store.
Well, you can conveniently kiss my ass. What the fuck are you looking at?
Hey, how you doing?
Can you shut the fuck up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Come on, son. I don't even like peanuts.
My daddy said he wants a butternut.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Doing good.
All right.
$1.95. You can insert it there. Right there.
Excuse me, y'all. I just ran out of gas and I ain't got no money.
Well, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing good. Is that it?
Copenhagen.
Is that it?
Lighter.
Is that it?
Is that it? That it? Give me a damn minute.
It's declining it.
It's declining. What the fuck?
It's declining.
I got money in my account. What the? Let me try it again.
Okay.
Oh, hell, this is the wrong damn card.
Hey, how are you? You like these? I really don't like them.
I really don't give a fuck what you like. How much are they?
It's completely declining it.
What? No, man. I get paid tomorrow. You just got me till then?
Yeah, I got you.
I can't.
Yeah?
Bitch, I'm not talking to you.
I'm always like, I try to talk to convenience store people. Like I'm always like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Yeah.
Well, don't talk to that one.
You
just never know.
I do that all the time.
That was so great. And then lastly, because we have to have animals, we can't not have a show with animals or without animals. And these are tigers struggling with ice.
Oh my gosh.
Aren't they so cute?
Oh my god, it's the greatest. That is really cute. I love it.
I know. I just love them so much. All right. We have thank yous. This is from the Ball Pit crew. Carrie Ann Jad. I don't know what the name is, but it's Carrie Ann, I think.
Jad. Okay.
Carrie Ann Jad. She said, shout out to my daughter and soon to be son-in-law, Samantha and Enrique on their upcoming marriage in Mesa, Arizona on the 21st. Love to share with the Chicks family our happiness on their beautiful future.
I think it's Enrique.
Enrique. Okay.
Yeah.
So sorry if I mispronounced that.
Okay.
And then Bridget Garcia on Venmo said, hey chicks, love listening to you both. I hope everyone can help me wish my sister Stacy a very happy birthday on the 19th, which is today. Love you, sis. And balls. Happy birthday to Stacy. Kelly Wiseman on Venmo today says it's Dad Joke Wednesday. And this one is for Elon today. A restaurant in outer space closed shortly after it opened, despite its highly rated food. It just had no atmosphere. Welcome back, Amy. Hope the knee is good, Mock. XOXO.
Yay.
Oh, wait. I'm
Okay.
sorry. One more. And that is from Locals. Working Stiff says, good morning, chicks. First, the Newsom waltz talk was like watching Dumb and Dumber. The server being pissed at MAGA because we don't want legals but eat Mexican food got what she deserved. The internet is not your friend. Stop telling it everything. I pray we stay smart enough to continue to vote during midterms and locally. DJW, how do you throw a party in space? You plan it. Have a blessed day, everyone.
I see what you did there. I do. I see what you did.
Okay,
Okay,
now for you.
Robin Dye, JFK, read The Man Who Knew Too Much, Dick Russell. Okay, all right. Susan T, hi chicks. If you have not seen Sky News Australia, check her out. Funny conservative news about American celebs and politics. Get her on the show.
That's Sky News Australia. Isn't that a whole channel?
I think it's a whole channel. I don't know if you're gonna have to give us a person to talk to.
Yeah,
and then we'll try to do that. Donkey Hody, Dad Joke Wednesday. What do you call a cult that makes your life harder? A difficult. The older millennial. It's too early in the morning to deal with those liberals. Yes. Curio 23. I'm the Norse god of mischief, but I don't like to talk about it. I guess you could say I'm low key.
I get it.
Aaron Krieger. What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? One's really heavy. The other is a little lighter. I'm sorry. Happy Dad Joke Wednesday. Take my money. That was good. Curtis F68. They were there on porpoise. Get it?
Oh, the dolphins. Yes,
the dolphins
I love it.
were there on porpoise. Calm 911 chick. Saw SpaceX splash down at work and loved it. Constant reference to coast of Tallahassee was triggering OCD. Tally is landlocked, for God's sake. Get your ish together, NASA. Happy hump day, jerks. Love it. Don Quixote, I like being called dude or buddy, but not pal. I have preferred pronouns. Take my money, you jerks. Still praying for Mock and her knee.
Thank you. I need it because it really hurts. Also, my husband is the king of pronouns. And I actually worry about it because I worry that at some point someone's going to be offended by it because he uses the word chief a lot, and you can say that for the wrong person.
Or he'll be like,
and
"Hey,
they could get
champ."
mad.
Hey,
Or
chief.
chant. Yeah, I don't know if he's a chant person, but
Chant,
chief,
more chief.
and bud, he uses those constantly.
I love that. I love the pronouns. The pronouns are great. Let's see. Randy Craig, a new scandal around Musk's attempt to widen the fenced entrances of the White House. It's called Elongate. Take my money, please. Robert Clark, Dad Joke Wednesday. A dwarf psychic has escaped prison. Maybe be on the lookout for a small, medium at large. I love that one. That is really good, Robert. Marcus Drake, the odds of Schumer going to the gym are roughly equal to the odds of him knowing how to grill a cheeseburger.
That's true. That is
very
true.
James Kistler, dogs can't operate an MRI machine, but CAT scan.
CAT scan.
That was good. Marcus Drake, dad joke time. Went to the doctor yesterday with a suspicious looking mole. He said they all look like that, and I should have left him in the garden.
You don't take moles out of the garden.
Oh, gosh, so good. James Kistler, how do you count cows? With a calculator. Yes.
Calculator.
Randy Craig, I'm giving up Chuck Schumer for Lent. Did you guys see that Tracy Morgan thing at the basketball game?
Yeah. What ended up happening? I just saw
Food
that
poisoning. He had food poisoning.
It was food poisoning.
Yeah, he had food poisoning, and I'm just like, can you imagine barfing in front of everybody? That is just. I'm sorry, that's mortifying. I can't imagine.
But he's all right, right?
Yeah,
he's
okay.
fine.
He had food poisoning, but it's like, oh my God, just puking everywhere in front of everybody. I know. James Kistler, what does Beethoven do in his grave? He decomposes. Douche Elias, don't F with Bannon. I mean, I'm going to do what I want.
I'm going to say the things.
Yeah, we're going to say the things about Bannon. Come at me, brah. Yeah. Okay.
Chief.
Come at me, champ. Buddha Chawan, happy birthday to my first grandchild, Robbie, who is 1 today. He is such a happy little boy and we love him so much. Happy birthday, Robbie.
Is he named after Robbie Williams?
Probably not. That's probably not who he's named after. Jose Rodriguez, I haven't spoken to my wife in 4 years. I thought it would be rude to interrupt her.
What are you trying to say about women and talking?
Yeah. Yeah, Jose. What are you trying to say? Anyway. All right, you guys, bring it in. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. It's good day. Everybody have a fabulous Wednesday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.
Okay, thank